Good evening, and welcome to Hour 5 of Jmac is playing Hadean Lands, or perhaps Jmac plays Hadean Lands. The weak verb is optional. I'm flying solo today, yeah, we had some fun technical difficulties in the last session where I accidentally. It turns out what happened was I unwittingly muted my own headphones so I couldn't hear the author of the game, who I invited on to co-host, and ended up talking over him in a most rude fashion. He is the reason for his absence is not because he is uh, mortally offended, but just because he's on vacation, because it is the new year. It is January 2nd. Happy New Year. I hope to do a lot more interactive streaming of this sort in the year to come, and I do intend to do this every Sunday night. By this, I mean Hadean Lands until the game is done, hook or by crook, for a couple of hours. So I'm just going to jump into it, honestly. And I know I started the last couple with a slideshow, and if you want to know more about the game, the short story is it's hadeanlands.com. If you want to know slightly more, you can look at the slideshows of the previous two episodes. I've now set up a playlist for this, and I have updated my channel a little bit, and you should be able to look at that quite easily. But as far as everything else, I'm just going to start playing and offer minimal context, or offer bits of context as I myself remember what was happening the last time I played this a couple of weeks ago. So, without further ado, where were we? Where did we last leave our hero, Ensign Forsyth? The Ensign, the adventurer, the player character, has just entered the High Tower. Where is that on the map? We can see that is, yes, that is marked by the pulsing blue star in the upper part of the map. This whole sort of western area we have just recently opened up, as we've been able to sort of open up this fire door that separated the east and west sides of His Majesty's Marcher, the unanswerable retort, the mysterious craft of some kind that has had a interdimensional boo-boo that we must now rectify. Yes, and this is the captain's quarters, and allow me to reread where we are and get us back into the swing of things. So, you have found Captain Hart's private quarters. In Marcher lore, though never in the captain's presence, this hallowed spot is called the High Tower. It looks disappointingly unmedieval, though. Spartan decor, a bunk of regulation width and crispness. Another cabinet hangs on the wall. This one has no seal or keyhole, but an alchemical symbol shines on the cover. And we examined that symbol, and we saw the cabinet is a square compartment made of plate rutulum. Fancy, or perhaps practical. Rutulum is supposed to have spiritual qualities. The cabinet is closed. The alchemical symbol for attraction shines on its surface. And then we monkeyed about with the cabinet a little bit, and to no avail. And then just to close the session out, just to remind myself that it had the effect I thought it would, or rather the non-effect, I spoke the unsealing mantra, which is for canceling out a ritual in progress. It is not for it's not a Dungeons and Dragons dispel magic spell that can undo anything. So that didn't work. And so here we are. So according to my own notes, which I do not have streaming, the current unknown or locked doors before us are a heavy lead panel in the storage nook, a cabinet in the medical wing, which is tarnished over. I cannot remember if we've tried the universal tarnish trick on that yet or not. We need some gold in order to complete a ritual to open a locker in the junior quarters. I need something called a Ka ceiling for... this is my own notes. I don't even remember what this means anymore. I need a Ka ceiling for a Brodzik's invocation in order to get into the medical wing. Oh, yes, because the medical wing has a naughty ghost. It has bad juju in front of it, and we need to dispel that somehow. I think I might have gotten that, but I'll have to refresh my memory on that. And here we are in the high tower with yet another locked cabinet. I wish to explore the surrounding area a little bit more and get my sea legs back, if you will. So yeah, I haven't played this in a couple weeks, so let's just take inventory. Inventory, of course, in this game is a little strange compared to other interactive fiction games. It doesn't really matter what's in your hands so much as if you have been in the room with a thing and you know how to pick it up, you will be able to automatically pick it up later when you need it, so long as you've solved the puzzle with it. Perhaps we'll see a little bit of that in action tonight. I think I've read all the paper, and I don't think, let's scroll back a little bit, but I don't think we've picked up any... Yes, we have read, there was a shiny sheet of paper here, and we have read about the phlogistication of Electrum Regium for when we need to phlogisticate some gold. Oh, or we can phlogisticate some Electrum, which is like gold, because that is a stand-in, perhaps? Interesting. Yes, I think this is a clue, actually. On the back, while phlogisticated gold is commonly used to support elemental fire, recent research indicates possible substitutes. I think we could do something with this friendos, because the reason we wanted gold earlier was because there is a lock that is closed because it is tied with a specially treated cord with a note trolling you that you need to find elemental fire, and it says you better go find some gold. But here's a note that says, you can substitute. So we might be able to do that. So I'm going to actually take a note about that. Try using Electrum. And we are getting into the meat of this game, where it pays dividends to pay close attention, which is why I am doomed. But maybe streaming helps if I can have extra eyes on this. Anyway, boy, let's walk around a bit. Per previous, take another look around. Right. We can look at the bunk. Rumor lied. There's not a fluffy pillow or sheepskin in sight. Oh, rumors about the captain abound. All right. Let us go back out to the deck suite. There's another locked cabinet here. Do I remember that from last time? The cabinet is squarish compartment of some anonymous alloy. It is locked with an aethery file lock, and I believe we now have clay molds. Oh, not for aethery, though. Yeah, so we have the ability to open alchemy file locks because we have a seal. I believe in the captain's quarters we found molds with which we can create medical and venture seals. So we need to be able to do some crafting in a bit. Don't know how to do that offhand. And at some point, if we can find an aethery file, we can open this cabinet. So I'm going to take a note that here is another one. Cabinet in, where are we? Deck suite. Locked with aethery. All right. Let's see. This looks like a comfortable place to drink tea. It must be a lounge set aside for the deck officers, the three important enough to rate private staterooms. We just emerged from one. The venture door to the north is closed. The aethery door is to the east. And the alchemy door are both open. I believe we already went to the Master Rector's quarters, and this just had some literature in it, which we have scooped up already. So there's nothing else to do here. And if we try to go to the north, you open the door and discover another Hadean landscape. The world is dark, layered with black dust, not the common stone gray of most Hadean lands. Title: The sun is a blinding pinprick on the horizon. So no going out there. If we look at the sun, beyond the door is no larger than a star, but it has eye-stabbing blue-white brightness. It occurs to me, wait a minute. Coming back to me now. in part because I remember my first playthrough of this game, where I did manage to do some stuff. We have sort of a floating quest to create an ocular thingamabob, which doesn't fit a lock in an obvious way, but it is still a tool you need in order to see the world in a different way, if you will. So, according to my map, north would normally lead us to the Master of Arms, but that is inaccessible because the door is fundamentally messed up and is going into the wrong dimension. So, or location at least, so never mind about that. Back to Officer Country. Let's go ahead and reread this because it's been a while. It is widely rumored that an ensign walking this far up the hall will instantly combust. You still might, you suppose? The officer's mess is somewhere up there, but a fracture prevents you from getting any farther. The senior officer's quarters are to the east and the juniors are to the west. There is the captain leaning against the wall again, and I don't think she has any sort of thing on her. She's leaning her burly frame against the wall, eyeing the hallway as if worried that someone was about to walk by, which is absurd, of course. The captain doesn't worry. Lowly officers worry about her. She is on the other side of a time-speed differential or whatever is going on here. So no one's worrying about anyone right now. Here's the junior officer's quarters with the thing I was talking about. And there's the thing, and I think that there was a note here about how to ignite that cord. While I'm thinking about this, okay, and just reminding myself about these rituals. Aura impenetrability inscription. That's the thing we need in order to get into the medical wing. I see. So, Ka ceiling. And if I just try to invoke that, is this something I already know? Let's find out. Nope. Something we still need to learn then. Very good. Where's my map? Okay. There's still rooms in this western area to explore, so let's just go digging around some more. Basically, at the end of our last session, we opened this up, and I made a beeline to the captain's quarters because it was funny, and we just ended there. So let's walk around a bit more. Here we are on the quarters access. I believe we already went to all of the places here, which is to say the study room and the underward. Yeah, nothing to do here. These rooms, we've already hoovered up everything of note. This is a library, and if you attempt to read a book, everything is very dreamlike and messed up. Oh, it's already skipping ahead to this isn't working because in our last session we tried to read a book several times, and if I recall correctly, the books were unreadable because they were just it was like trying to read in a dream. The words were described as shifting around, and the language was indecipherable. So, is something wrong with our head? Is this a dream? Who knows? Something weird is afoot anyway. In this weird world to begin with. Let's get out of here. Let's go to a different wing of the ship entirely. Here we are on the west side hallway. The retort's main hallway continues from the nave to the east, towards the exoscape bay to the west. That's new. A cross corridor runs north towards the quarters wing, which we have thoroughly done our initial recon of just now. And south to the paper garden. Well, that sounds like a lovely retreat. So let's check out the paper garden, friends. The garden is the marcher's refuge of meditation and calm. Paper paths wind among beds of paper flowers. The walls are hung with paper trees beneath a calm blue-painted ceiling. A tiny brick-lined pool lies at the garden center. The place isn't large, but it doesn't feel small. You've always liked it. An opening to the north leads back to the retort's main corridor, and another south to the lower reaches. To the east, a paper arch gives entry to the paper hedge maze. Oh boy. The observatory door to the west is closed. I'm pro maze, by the way. You know, there is an ancient joke of mazes being boo hiss in interactive fiction, but these were jokes told in the early 90s about games from the late 70s. So I think we've moved beyond that by now. So do we dare dive directly into the maze for perversity's sake? No, we're going to look around first. We're going to do this right. Well, there's this lovely pool that's even on the map as this nice blue circle. I want to take a closer look at that. Well, it's only 8 feet across. It's trimmed with tiny, neat bricks, no doubt to make the pool look bigger. Its importance is mostly symbolic, after all, but somehow you can't make out the bottom from here. Interesting. I mean, that invites. Oh, we can't just swim, huh? Okay, well, let's enter the pool. Let's get wet. Why not? I guess this is happening. You take a deep breath. Okay, no, it's happening. I also want to note that the star is now in the middle of that blue circle. I don't remember this happening at all for my first playthrough, so this is delightful. You take a deep breath and jump into the chilly water. In the water, the bundle of paper dissolves. That is hilarious. I guess on a time loop, we will get all the paper back again. And one thing about Ensign Forsyth that we learned very quickly is that they, despite being a lowly ensign, they do appear to be a prodigy with an eidetic memory. So all of our notes turning into oatmeal just now is actually not a loss. Back to the game. Garden pool. You are floating in a well, 8 feet across and perhaps 10 feet deep. The water is cold and still. The water's surface is a sheet of light above you. Oh, are we floating in a well? Yeah, we're in it, friends. The water's surface is a sheet of light above you, and the base of the well is a circle of darkness below. That's okay. In the center of the darkness, you see a darker hole. It's an opening in the floor below you, a narrow shaft running downward out of sight. Generally, entering into darkness is the void, which in this game is your one-way ticket to resetting everything. But we don't care. Because what I'm saying is we're going into the darkness. You kick downwards until your lungs heave in your chest, but the channel's end is still nowhere in sight. You flip around and stretch for the surface. You can't hold your breath much longer. Okay, well, this sounds dangerous, and I don't want to actually die. This is strongly suggesting that we cannot get down there on muscle power alone, so let's get out of here. You break the surface, blow out breath, and pull yourself from the water. Okay, I wasn't expecting any of that, and that's real cool. So we need some way to propel ourselves through water. Man, you know what? A thing that I should have done before this, I said I was just going to jump in. I'm like, you know what? I don't need to make a slideshow. What I should have done was reread all of my rituals because I can't remember what my superpowers are. This is too many. Do we have a bubblehead charm? I don't know. Well, we'll come back to it. Back to the paper garden. Paper paths. Let's examine the paper. Let's be a smartass. Which do you... Decorative paper arch stands to the east, strung up on bamboo poles. Through it, you can see the mad folds of the retort's hedge maze, which you've never dared or been ordered to venture. That's interesting. Great. Well, that's all the more tempting. Why bandy about the bush, as it were. You step through the arch. Within moments, you are entirely turned around. Lost in paper maze. This is a hedge maze formed of paper screens taller than you. The passages fork and fold in every direction. All right, so the traditional interactive fiction way to solve a maze is you drop objects and you map it that way. There is basically no chance that's how it's going to work here. There's every chance in the world that I need to do a ritual that creates a magical wayfinding doohickey that points me to the way. Let's have some fun and walk in random directions. You try going straight for a while. You think you have found somewhere new. This is a maze of paper screens taller than you, which form forking and folding passages in every direction. The paper maze is the nest of the dragon Numa. Only senior officers are supposed to enter, but you've never heard that the maze was difficult. Excuse me. You know, I'm using a mic for the first time, and I forget I have a mute button. I'll remember for my next cough. Speaking of Numa, here we have the first mention in the game of this playthrough of dragons. My understanding is that dragons are... understanding what dragons are is central to the game, and the game does not go out and tell you what dragons are. I do not think that they are big, scaly beasts. I do not think they are literally fantastic animals that power the ship. They are something else. I still don't know, friends. This is beyond... I did not get far enough in the game to fix the dragons. I think there might be something wrong with the dragons, you guys. So yeah. This is lore, is what I'm saying. This is stuff we have to understand. In the chat, Bill notes that a hedge maze of paper with forks and folds in every direction is very Borges. Yes, it is. So let's continue. Is if you stumble around enough, the game mercifully puts you back in the garden. I will note there is a tantalizing thing on the map. You can see a square that strongly suggests the presence of a hatchway of some kind. A hatchway of some kind that leads down, or perhaps that you can access by going up from a lower level. My point being, there's nothing we can do here right now. We will need to Metroidvania our way back here later. I didn't actually say that, excuse me. Paper garden. Anything else to look at here? So the rest of those paper things. Look at the paths. Okay, the paths aren't really paper. They're reed mats that look like paper. They wander in little arcs among the paper flowers. Real plants don't grow here. That's what the herbarium is for. The paper garden is the marcher's symbol of a garden. The retort could not travel the higher spheres without this place unchangingly here. It does not change, nor fade, nor wither, though it sometimes needs to be dusted. Fascinating. We could check out the trees. Paper silhouettes in the shapes of trees adorn the walls. They're hung in layers, giving an artful impression of hazy distance. Let's just look at everything. It's calming. The ceiling is curved and painted sky blue, hinting at clouds. If you don't look up, it's easy to forget that it's there, though the breeze that usually aids the illusion is stilled now. We do not have the full sense around effect going on, I see. Everything is broken. Bricks is just a pool again. All right. Cool. So what have we learned here? There is a pool with a down something at the bottom of it we cannot get to. There's a maze that we cannot navigate unaided. So what are the other exits from here? Opening to the north, that's where we came from. Another south to the lower reaches. Observatory door to the west. Well, we shall not leave any door unopened, shall we? It seems to be locked. Can we naively do this? No, I don't know. Probably not the alchemy file. I do not think that would work, but let's try it anyway. Nope. We have a thick key. Nope. All right. Okay, I'm going to take a note of locked. What was it? Observatory? Door west of Paper Garden. South we go then. And we can go there. Grand stair top 2 hallways intersect beneath an elegant vault of brick red tile, which sweeps around to follow a grand staircase down to the lower levels. A garden is visible to the north. To the west is the ornate door of the birdhouse, which is closed. The hall to the south is blocked by yet another fracture. The side corridor to the east is much the worst. Its far end seems to be on fire. You see someone caught beyond the fracture, Lieutenant Powes. He appears to be walking towards the birdhouse door. Let's check out the lieutenant. You recognize Lieutenant Michael Powes, a thin man with a piercing stare. But why here? You know he's aetheriophile, but a lieutenant wouldn't ordinarily have business in the birdhouse. It just occurred to me that file is a synonym for rank here. Okay, that makes sense. So, yeah, okay. On my first playthrough, I didn't realize, I was just like, these are just different keycard colors. They have the alchemy file and the aethery file and the venture file, whatever. They're red, blue, green key cards, but these are actually clearly ranks of the military that we are in. And we do not use rank here. We use file. Oh, and I left it on the map again. I'm stuck on the map view. Well, it's a good thing I was reading all that out loud, huh? Sorry, everyone. I have to do that once per episode until I learn to become a good streamer, and then I will just leave it on the map forever and not even bother to change. And then we will have known I will become a Galaxy Brain IF streamer. But until then, I will continue to rely on the crutch of the shared game view. Grand stair top, blah, blah. Here's Powes. Everything I said. And my whole lecture about rank versus file. Yes. He's not holding anything cool that we can see. So, speaking of the map, looks like we could go down. There's that birdhouse. Lots of things pointing at that birdhouse. Please go to the birdhouse, winks the game. Check out the fracture. I don't know. I like looking at the fractures. Nope. It's just, he doesn't have a dot after lieutenant. That's fine. Again, let us leave no door unopened. First opening the engraved door, you reach for the handle, but your fingers go numb and slide away. Lovely. With everything that's wrong on the retort, this one security stricture remains perfectly functional. It's reacting to your psychic signature. An ensign can't just walk into the birdhouse, so when you approach, the door gets defensive. Yes, defensive is a technical term in aura engineering. Okay, this is another thing we might be able to subvert through the... Maybe not Broadzix. That's to render one's aura impermeable to harm, which isn't what we want to do. We want to mask our aura entirely, which we might have in there. Oh, wait a minute. Breath-holding synthesis. Look at that. Oh, we did have a bubblehead charm. Nice. Okay. Play with that later. I know. I gotta take... Hang on. Need breath-holding synthesis. It's exciting. Synthesis for the pool in the paper garden. Need to hide aura to get into birdhouse. Do we have anything for aura hiding? Oh, there's fire resistance. Yeah. Okay, we've already used the fire resistance to stick our hands into an oven. We haven't walked into... There's the thing that is literally on fire. Maybe we can give that a further workout. The rest of this is target cleaning, rust cleaning, aura impermeability. That is to get to the medical wing. All right. No, I'm now all... Gold ignition is the thing that we use to open that rope. I think we will be able to fire off at least a couple of these today. Oculus creation is the thing I was talking about. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here's, okay, do we have Ka sealing? No, we are still missing Ka sealing. We have hermetic sealing. We have simple sealing. No call ceiling. All right. Oh, any new facts? No, all of our facts are old and busted. Enough of that foolishness. No birdhouse for us today, friends. Maybe birdhouse later. Fire. Let's check that out. It's fun. The far end of the east corridor is on fire. You can feel the radiant heat all the way from here. Yay! Burning hall west. This hall runs west to east from the grand stairs to the high wing. You've never been inside the high wing, and your chances don't look good today because it's on fire. The entire east end of the hall is enveloped in flame. You can't tell what's burning. The walls? The floor? But the heat is intense. You can't go any further. Says you, game. I have a heat resistance. We should use that. The inferno fills the far end of the hall. It does not appear to be spreading, which is strange. Although you'll accept strange today if it keeps the rest of the marcher from going up. Even at this distance, the heat is nearly intolerable. Let's get closer. The fierce heat drives you back. No. Cool. Can I be impatient and make a... Nah, let's explore first. Go downstairs. You head down the grand staircase. The air grows cooler and quieter as you descend into the depths. What a relief. Oh, this is where things... Okay, this part of the game is scary. So we're doing a breadth first search, as we do. Grand stair bottom. The basement is bare... this basement is bare, square, and dank. It has, as far as you are aware, square, no function whatsoever. Perhaps every house needs a basement, but the Navy does not stoop to clutter. The walls are tile. They arch up to join the grand staircase as it ascends to the main levels. The barracy lies to the east through a narrow iron gate with a brass lock. An irregular gap to the south wall opens out into a larger, darker space. That's where things get scary. The chamber has been defaced with, creepy, more of the illegible black marks. Wait, a bit of clutter after all. A pale yellow bead is lying in a corner. Well, we like those. Zoop. The bead is ivory, rather larger than your thumbnail, carved in pleasingly abstract swirls. Neat. You've seen them used for meditation or just thumb fiddling. They're supposed to represent spiritual calm, at least according to the knick-knack shop owners who sell them. Oh, now I say I want to, can I fidget? No. Can I fiddle? No. Can I play with the bead? I'm obsessed. Come on. Okay. Right. Well, you know what? Probably something for a Gestalt shelf later. It's too bad we can't fidget with it. Can we see the barracy from here? I'm not sure what the word barracy means offhand. The gate is tall and narrow, with heavy bars of wrought iron in an iron frame. It's always reminded you uncomfortably of a cemetery's side entrance. The gate is shut, and the heavy brass lock is locked. You've never been inside, and the room beyond looks like a bare stone tomb. I bet our key... I think we used the key on something. I've already forgotten what it was. I think it was to get through the fire door, but I'm just going to continue to bash it against everything, even though it will absolutely 100% not work. But I will kick myself if I don't even try, and because... car wash in the rain, whatever. Door with key. Hooray! Yeah, okay. Look at the room again. I feel like there was something I missed. Oh yeah, the squiggles. Oops. More twisting black marks are scrawled across the wall and floor. Can we just read them? Nope, just the same as looking at them. Okay. We got a really cool description of how headache-inducing they were in the nave, but now having been exposed to them 3 times, it's just more of the same, I suppose, of whatever alien kung fu powers are having their way with the marcher. Doesn't appear to be much else we can do here. Time to explore the irregular gap. Edge of Chasm. You stand on a broad stone walk, a ledge on the eastern wall of a vast canyon. You are underground. The roof is an arch of stone above you, barely visible. The bottom of the abyss is lost in utter darkness. The chasm runs north and south, out of sight. The ledge follows it south, but to the north it ends abruptly in a wall of stone. A gap in the wall leads north to the basement. Another passage squirms into the rock to the east. Boldly into the unknown, you think, even if it's the unknown reaches of my own merger. It's a start, kid. Well, can be stupid and just... Okay, only if you want to jump in. Is this a missed reference? I don't want to do it. Let's not go straight there. Look into the abyss. You see nothing below but the waiting dark. Too scary. Let's squeeze ourselves into the cracks. Yay! Great stuff. It's confusing cracks. You are lost in a maze of claustrophobic cracks. You've stopped in a fairly wide space, but plains of basalt close in all around you. You could crawl in any imaginable direction. The largest passage heads back west. In the center of this... Okay, this is an interesting echo of the paper maze, which might be like directly overhead by a floor or two, so perhaps that is not accidental. In the center of this space is a thick column of stone colored in eye-catching indigo. Oh dear. It runs from floor to ceiling. A chip of basalt lies here. It must have cracked loop from the walls. Well, let's get the chip off the old black block. Lol. It's a small, smooth bit of black basalt. Let's look at that column. Closer look, please. A thick column of some indigo material hangs down from the ceiling, tapering towards the floor. It's clearly natural, but you're not sure how it could have formed. This is not the domain of flowstone and stalactites. At any rate, it makes a distinctive landmark. So, we are not sure if this is actually alchemically active, or if this is simply a excuse for, like, you stopped here because this thing is eye-catching. No idea. Let us take the game's invitation to go in a random direction. How about northeast? You prowl through the twisting passages, but they all seem to lead back to where you started. How about up? How about northwest? It is the same message again and again, so I'm just confirming yes. Again, the author is not the sort of person to put a single exit in there. This is a clear signal. Now, I know it's not the first time in the game. I'm like, this is a clear signal at X, and then it turns out to be something else. This is a signal that don't waste your time doing this. Either there's a trick or there's nothing here at all. Probably there's not nothing here at all. So we'll come back. The reason I mentioned the maze was it wouldn't surprise me if once we find the way to navigate the maze, we can find some way to navigate the cracks as well. But we'll leave that for another time. Let's keep going south into the scary. The rock feels oddly unsteady underfoot. Rubble, chasm, rubble. Rubble and fallen rocks litter the ledge here. You can walk north or south alongside the abyss, which waits patiently. Oh, I don't like that wording. Which waits patiently to the west, but you have an unnerving sense of vertigo. The world seems to sway around you. We're probably breathing something terrible right now. A particularly massive slab lies... Oh, this MF thing. I'm going to keep going. A particularly massive slab lies at the chasm edge. Half its length rests on a solid-ish ground, but the far half hangs out over empty space, quite unsupported. You see a bronze chime lying on the far end of the slab. It looks very far away. The idea of crawling out there makes you feel even more unsteady than before. Okay, for whatever reason, I remember this puzzle very well, and I don't think I solved it. So I think we're starting to get into the area. We're starting to like nibble at the edges of stuff I couldn't figure out by myself. Is there a thing that will pull the chime into our hands? Perhaps. Is there a way to like weigh down the near end of the slab with enough heavy things that we can just wander around out there? Maybe. I think I tried the former of these. Let's play around a bit of that right now. Like, can I say, oh, I don't know, just something random here. Put key on slab. Yeah, you put the thick key on the near end of the slab where it won't unbalance anything. So that implies you can just drop everything on the slab, and then if you have enough heavy things, you can go out there. That might work. My memory is also poor. Maybe I actually did solve this, and I just spent an extra long time looking for something heavy. I honestly don't remember the solution to this. I just do remember something about the way this is worded and set up is very deeply unsettling and creepy to me. I don't have a fear of heights. Maybe I have a fear of deep black underground abysses. I don't want to self-analyze here on a internet stream. Let's just say this was a deeply memorable and unsettling a bit of the game to me, and I don't know how it was resolved or if I resolved it. So that's fun, and I knew this was coming, and here it is. We've made it, and I'm still going. So go me, full credits. Can I put everything on the slab? Let's put everything on the slab. Oh my goodness, yeah, here it is. We just pile it on there. You see a bronze chime lying on the far end of the slab. On the near end, and much more easily reached, our list of things. Pick them all back up. So, yeah. Let's check out that chime. It's a regulation naval ritual chime, bronze F sharp. We're gonna leave that where it is right now. I don't need a chime. Eventually, we're going to need an F sharp. We can worry about this then. Maybe by the time we do, I'll be like, I know exactly how to do this. I can send brass flying through the air at command. I am the master of gravity. Maybe we'll be there then. I'm not going to go out and get it. We're just going to leave that there. It's not going anywhere. Everything is fine. Let's go to south. The ledge seems to sway under your feet, worse and worse as you proceed. Chasm at bridge. The ledge is narrower here. To the south, it ends abruptly. To the east, you see the entrance to the deep library, a padlocked wooden door set into the canyon wall. To the west, that's so weird. So in my memory, I thought like the chasm was here by accident, but the stacks are clearly here purposefully, and it is not part of the accident that messed the ship up. So this underground thing is part of the marcher on purpose, and that is cool. Excuse me. Making sound effects. Where were we? Yes. To the east, you see the entrance to the deep library, a padlocked wooden door set into the canyon wall. To the west, a naked stone span, great, bridges the canyon. Vertigo assails you. What is going on here? Something must be wrong with the dragon Baros. That's what's supposed to keep gravity stable in the retort. Oh, and that pairs with the Barassi, which is perhaps the gravitational controller doohickey for the marcher. Neat. So that's two dragons. We have Numa and Baros, which I am going to guess based on what was just told us and the name that perhaps they are the life support system and the artificial gravity system for our bizarre alchemical craft, which is pretty awesome. So the dragons are engines of some kind. They're AIs. I don't know. It's great. I have no idea. Let's check out that padlock. Everything is locked all the time. So many locks. We're getting into so many locked doors. And also, padlock is not a verb. The door is heavy pine, rather rougher than the doors in the rest of the retort. Someone has locked it with a venture file padlock, which is a violation of 6 different regulations on library use. Oh, so someone of the venture rank, I'm going to say rank, I'm going to boldly just translate file into rank here. A officer has locked the library, which is a no-no. But we are in extreme circumstances and needs must. I guess they made an executive decision, and we cannot get into the stacks right now until, friends, we use the venture file mold that we have to make ourselves the key card to get in here. So that'll be good, and I'm going to take a note of that. Get into the deep stacks with a venture file. Okay, when we can start making keys, we are going to blow this game open slightly more. Check out the bridge. The bridge is a plain span of stone, a yard wide and a yard deep. It crosses the canyon in a gentle arc. It would be almost inviting if the world weren't tilting vertiginously around you, or if the bridge had handrails. Well, YOLO. The waves of vertigo grow more intense as you stumble towards the bridge. The span itself seems to wobble, although you know it is just the unstable gravity throwing you back and forth. This is a bad idea. You don't think you could get even halfway across at this rate. Oh, okay. So, the gravity is messed up. We're being pulled in many directions. We cannot cross a very narrow stone. I have to try it. I have to try going across again. The waves of vertigo grow more intense as you stumble towards the bridge. You don't think you could get even halfway across at this rate. All right. There's no going to the deep lab right now. We need to repair the gravity. We need to fix the gravity. We're not doing that today. We have other leads. It's cool. Let's get out of here. Boop-a-doop. I think there's still things available to us that we haven't tried yet. Just in the area we unlocked last time, we did blow open a lot. Back to the hallway. I believe the Scaife Arcade. That sounds fun. I believe that is just straight up open. So let's go there. The Scaife Arcade. You are in a pleasant red brick gallery edged by a row of wooden columns. A heavy steel portal in the west wall is the access to the Marcher's exoscaphe. It's currently closed. A valve wheel is mounted next to the portal. The arcade runs north towards an overlook window. There is a corridor to the east. You also see a crawlway hatch in the floor. It's open, but it seems to be flooded. How interesting. And I'm also noting, and I swear to God, I'm going to remember I did it this time. Let's look at the map. I note, and Zarf did mention this during his guest shot on the show last week. This map was drawn by the player character during the game, so we're kind of semi cheating a bit in that we can see things that they've drawn in a version of themselves that we have not inhabited yet. So we have a little bit of information here that we haven't encountered yet. But Zarf countered like, well, you can also say that Forsyth already is familiar with the layout of the ship, and other than bizarre things like, a quarter is on fire or parts of the ship enter into a infinite void, they already know this. So I will note that in our current room, the flooded hatchway is a blue square. And in the observatory, you can see just to our south, there is a blue square. So I do believe we are looking at an alternate entrance. And now I will switch back to the game for you. Yes. Blah. It's flooded. You notice a small brass cube lying by a column. I love cubes. Give me the cube. Yay. It's a tiny brass measuring block meant for a balance scale. The number 27 is engraved on one face, along with a mark certifying precision. So perhaps we can use this to symbolize precision. Perhaps we can use it to symbolize 27-ness. We'll see what comes up in our future ritual needs. Anyway, heavy steel portal on the west wall. Valve runs north of the window. Let's look at a hatch. The crawlway hatch is uncovered, but water ripples in the opening. The entire crawl space below must be flooded. I don't care. Let's go into it. Again, I didn't expect that to be so easy. It's like, okay, gloop. Here we are. You take a deep breath and jump into the chilly water. We do not get a message that all of our paper got pulped again. I guess we haven't picked up any paper since the last time. And I will now note that, let's do this again. The You Are Here star is now in the middle of a lake, river, sewer. Anyway, I asked for it. Here we are. Arcade crawl space, flooded. This crawlway runs north and south, or it did before it collapsed and flooded. Now you are floating in not very clean water, weakly illuminated by a few remaining Sophic lamps. To the south, the crawlway runs into murky darkness, out of sight. The way north is blocked by fallen beams. This is giving me flashbacks to the Chernobyl miniseries, and that's pretty awesome. / horrible. The hatch and air is a rippling patch of light overhead. Okay, so we've just gone straight down, sploosh. Oh, it's another chime. What in the world? A glint of bronze is visible in the debris. It looks like another chime. Be natural, if you're not mistaken. Well, let's get some chimes. All right, we found a thing. North is blocked by beams. South, murky darkness. And I bet we can't go south because I bet we need to hold our breath. Yeah, no. This is the same message as we got when we tried to swim around like an idiot in the paper garden pool. So we absolutely need to mix ourselves a stiff drink, if you will, before we can do this. So that's all we're doing there. I should take a note that is yet another thing we can do. Where did I note about the pool? And also the flooded hatchway in the Scaife Arcade. And in the chat, Bill correctly notes that 27 is 3 cubed. That's math. Right, north. Actually, no, we're going to check out the Scaife, which I take to be a sort of bathysphere, perhaps. Oh, that was easy. First, opening the heavy steel portal, we go west. Please cut out that sound effect. The Exoscaife is a vehicle for exploring hostile lands. From the inside, it's more like being in a spherical steel tank, a windowless tank at that. Presumably, there's a better view from the pilot's dome, but the hatch above your head is closed. A circular bench runs around the perimeter, broken only by the dark engine compartment to the west and an exit portal to the east. The portal is open. You can see a small emergency lever, next to it. A cabinet is fastened to the wall. Its latch is tied shut with a knot of white cord, much like the one you saw on the locker. Okay, all right. Let's take a note of that. I know... Where did I note about need gold? Let's say need gold / electrum, because clearly we can replace gold with electrum, I think. Oh, I already said that. Haha. And also the cabinet inside the Scaife. Dum-da-dum cabinet. Yes, indeedy. On the bench are a crumble cheat and a horn coin. A horn coin. It is a coin crudely carved of animal horn. The symbol of an anchor is cut into one face. That is a nice multi-purpose symbol. Let's see here. So on our map, the symbol for the horrible game resetting void is to the west, to the engine compartment. So I'm just going to skip that. And I see in the description of the room, it says the dark engine compartment. So I think dark is a keyword in room descriptions that said, this will eat you. If you go here, you will get et. We have no need to do that right now, so we'll just put that away. Exit portal to the east. Well, we have to pull the lever. We have to pull the lever, friends. The lever is locked in place, no doubt because the steel portal is open. You wouldn't want to depressurize the entire marcher. Well, you pursue much, game, but very well. I will also remember, speaking of levers and the dragon Numa, in the airlock from 2 sessions ago, there was also a lever that was marked with the symbol for Numa, and the game just said, it's the symbol for Numa, without any other detail. I think now this means, so Numa is offline, and therefore that lever didn't work. So if we can fix that dragon, we might be able to open the airlock. I'm just spitballing. I don't know. Could work. Yes. Cool. We are in a outer space, transdimensional bathysphere, and the levers don't work. That is all I can tell you. Circular bench. I know that there's a piece of a thing to read here. I'm just savoring the moment, rereading everything. Emergency lever, we tried that. Cabinet. Cabinet is closed. The latch is bound up with a tight. Okay. We'll get to you, cabinet. I know your game, cabinet. I've got your number. Eyes on you. Crumpled sheet. It's time to get some book learning in. This explains the binding of the celestial sphere, which is used in rituals involving astrological constructs. You memorize the information, including the binding of the celestial sphere. Thank you, variable-driven text. You also pick up the sheet, just in case. Oh, well, that won't last long. Okay, well, that was not a ritual. That was a component. I don't recall a need for a binding of the celestial sphere, but we will absolutely... It'll 100% come in handy eventually. We're not done looking around this stuff yet. There's still more to see. Got these columns. Check these out. These columns are white painted wood with Romance egg and dart capitals. Nice. They form the edge of the covered walkway, which runs north from here. Of course, the whole arcade is indoors, but it's a nice architectural touch. I agree. Let's stroll to the north. Take a turn about the decks. This is the north end of the gallery. A long window in the west wall overlooks the exoscape bay. You can see the scaphe itself on the other side, hooked up to the portal you saw back south. To the north is a massive door of pale marble, outrageously carved. That's very opinionated. The door is closed. So far, Forsyth's inner voice has kept editorializing to a minimum, but they think that this door is outrageously carved, so now I really have to check that out. Perhaps the door has suffered some damage. A chip of white marble is lying loose on the floor nearby. Oh, see, now we're talking. We got a chip of black basalt and a chip of white marble. We can get us a Empress Tarot card or something out of this. I know what's going on. Excuse me, High Priestess. I don't know what's going on. Let's look at it, even though it's not going to be... Yay! It's exactly what we thought it was. Sorry, what? The door. The door is made of white marble. Right? Right. Yes. Let's look at it. The door to the north is an imposing marble slab, carved with cherubs and incongruously cheery grapevines. You've always wondered if this part of the marcher was taken from a decadent bathhouse somewhere. Not that decadent bathhouses are part of your life experience. Be that as it may, the door is firmly shut. But I want to open it. You tug on the marble handle, but the door is locked. Okay. And I see the room beyond is the dressing room, which has 4 little ovals on it, and I remember what those are because I remember getting through these somehow. But we're not doing that right now because I don't have any obvious way to open this particular door. I mean, we have a key. Nope. And again, I must apologize for the flickering screen. This is a thing I say we'll look into, and I never do. Okay, I think that this exhausts the stuff that we can look at. Let's take another look around here. Yeah, there's a window. The thick glass is a bit wavy, but you can see the exoscape bay on the other side. It's a high brick wall, the mirror of this one, but with vast steel doors on the far side. Most of the bay is taken up by the exoscape itself, a lumpy metal tortoise on track tread wheels, badass. The scaife is backed up to its entry portal, which connects to this hall southward. The bay roof appears to have been damaged. There seems to be a bit of paper lying at the far end of the bay. Oh, so I want to get into the scaife and then out into the bay. So I want to play around a little bit more with that, actually. Oh, yeah, because it had a hatch in it, did it? Something like that. Interesting. Can I look at the roof? Through the window, you see that the bay roof is badly damaged. Chunks of brick vaulting have fallen away, leaving a wide crack through which shine the brilliant, forbidding stars of a Hadean land. Pieces of roof have fallen onto the exoscape itself. It's hard to tell, but it looks like the scaife's upper dome is also cracked, and the rest of the hull is battered and dented. Ooh, maybe we don't want to go through there. Okay. I think if we had some sort of space suit, or I should say pressure suit, in order to... I don't know if space is the right word here. If we had some sort of pressure suit, we might. This might be a more survivable thing to try. I have a notion that we'll encounter one in good time, so I'm not going to rush this. But I want to check out the scaife a little bit more because one imagines. I don't want to go to the west. Can I go up? The dome hatch cannot be opened against a pressure differential. Okay. All right. Can we close the portal? Aha! You close the heavy steel portal. And now pull the lever. You give the lever a quick tug. Air shrieks through the valve, and you feel your ears pop. Gah! You release the lever before the pressure on the exoscape can drop further. Suffocating yourself is not on the agenda. Okay. This is a thing that we can do after we get a pressure suit. That is not now. So let's get out of here. There's a brief hiss as the pressure re-equalizes. Cool. All right. Let us examine our... I have lost track of my windows. Here we go. Okay, there's this. Let us go back to stuff we can do. I think that we have explored all of the map that we opened up in our last session. We just had a good hour and 4 minutes slowly touring all of the new rooms. And that was a good time. Some of the rooms are on fire. Some of them lead into chasms of utter darkness. Some of them lead into the eponymous Hadean Lands. None of them, and there's far too many, things are flooded, and there are many locked doors. So what can we do from here? We can create a resonant oculus, which is a thing we want to create. I think nothing in the game says, boy, you sure could use a resonant oculus right now. But you learn how to do this, and I'm pretty sure the things you have for it are at hand. And that gives you, it lets you find stuff. Or something. It's important. The other thing we can do, oh yeah, then there's the aura impermeability thing, which again, no cost ceiling, so cross that out of the list. We can't do that. We could try the electrum phlogistication, followed by, you know what? Let's try that. What do we need for that, friends? Place a rod of electrum into a catalytic environment and seal with a simple sealing. Pour yang oil over the metal and invoke an elementary binding. Yang oil. Do we have yang oil? I need to remember the specific verbs for this game to go to a thing. You don't know any such location. What's a thing I know? I know where the rosemary is. I'm not holding the rosemary, am I? What if I say go to rosemary? All right. So if you say go to X, where X is a thing, you know where it is. Forsyth just books it straight there. So here we are on the secondary Alchemy Lab. I don't have any business here. I was just seeing if I could remember how to go to things. So I don't think that we can, I do not think we're going to phlogisticate any electrum today because we need yang oil and we don't have that. So I'm going to take a note that we need some yang oil. So blockers, need yang oil. I don't even know what that is. I guess it's the complement of yin oil, and I don't know what that is either. In the chat, Doug notes that the scaphe was a sundial said to have been invented by Aristarchus of Samos, 3rd century BC. Thank you, Doug. That doesn't appear to be exactly what we're talking about here. I will note that in the game, the exoscaphe is referred to as a scaphe as sort of a nickname, although it is capital S scaphe and scaphe arcade in the map. So who knows? So we're not doing that. We're not burning those. We're not igniting the gold right now. We're not burning those white cords. Still open to us is the breath holding synthesis and the fireproof stuff. So let's check that out. Potion to hold one's breath. Yes, there's at least 2 places that we could use this. By properly balancing the phlogiston of the lungs and blood, well, of course, one may retain breath for several minutes without discomfort. Sounds good. Prepare an exhilarant environment. Aroma is particularly important for this working. One will also need a pattern of exhilarant symbolism prepared on the Gestalt shelf. Place a measure of saline into the bound. Begin with a simple sealing, followed by the anodyne evocation. Place a bit of elemental wood upon the pattern and ignite it. Conclude with an elementary binding. I think we have these things. So let's focus here. I know we have access to elemental wood. You know, without further ado, let's go to it. Zoom. There. Got that. Pattern. That sounds familiar. Yes, that is something that we grabbed from... I wonder if we have that already. Yeah, okay. Got it. We have that. We also need a pattern of exhilarant symbolism. We have a pattern with the Chinese sign for breath on it. That is exhilarant. Good. Good. So we need an aroma that is also exhilarant. That is how I am. Here's text being very important. Can I highlight this? Will that show up? Yes. This semicolon appears to be very important to me when it says prepare an exhilarant environment, semicolon. Aroma is particularly important for this working. I read this as we must make things smell exhilarant. And we need, so what's the breathy aroma? Boy, oh boy. Is it the seaweed? We can find that in facts here. Hang on. Lecture on aromas. Okay. My memory is unusually apt. Seaweed had something to do with breath. Tedious lecture. But Forsyth, your oddly far-reaching memory will save us again. So we do have this. Are we carrying the seaweed around with us? Yeah, we got that. Oh, man. Okay. So do we have all the... No, we need to go get some saline. Do we have saline? No. Let's go get some. Zoom. Plop. Okay. What's our ingredient list here? Let's go back to this. We have aroma. We have a patent. We can go to a place with a shelf. We have the saline. We do have an anodyne evocation. And do we have something to ignite the wood? Yes, we have a torch lighter. I think we could just do this. I think we have everything in hand to make this go. I feel good about this. In the chat, Mike notes that scaife has a meaning of bowl, so probably something related. I believe this. We need to go to a laboratory that has a Gestalt shelf. That is not the secondary alchemy lab. I believe the Pyrex lab has that, so let's zoom on over there. Make sure I am correct. I am not correct. Wrong room, sorry. Good, okay. You can smell hot brick. Oh, this is not a good room to do. It's too stinky. It already smells like something. Optics lab, maybe? And I will note that, I mean, we've already read the sheet, right? Yeah. We've reset the game since the last time we've been through here, so we are now finding sheets of paper that we don't care about, as opposed to immediately being like, yes. And it's like, oh, a white feather, we want to scoop it up. No, we don't. If we ever need it again, we already know where it is, but we've already picked it up once, and that's all we care about. Okay, good. This has a shelf. The room smells like nothing. Great. Let's pop open that impet and get started. You pop open the impet, and the kelp aroma rolls out, salty and faintly rotten. The air is filled with the aroma of kelp. You know, I just like snorting these impets as soon as I have them open, just to get into the spirit. You take a snort from the impet, the aroma of sea crashes over you. Seagull noise. Place a pattern of exhilarant symbolism on the shelf. Okay, put pattern on shelf. Why? But what? Thought I had it. What happened? Wait. Now I'm confused. Go back. Doing some scrolling back. Did I lose it somehow? That's confusing. Huh. The porcelain patent is in the Pyrex lab. Say that 3 times fast. I don't know what happened. Maybe it wasn't in my inventory and I was remembering what it looked like from earlier? Weird. Well... Wait, what? But we definitely got it earlier. Huh. This should work. Okay. That's weird. Well, in order to get the patent, we need to make the fireproof thing. I'm just a little confused because I thought we already had the patent, and B, if it found its way back into the kiln, we should be able to okay, I guess I never picked it up. Weird. I guess I never picked it up. Oh man, I'm obsessed. Hang on. Going back. I have a Chinese amulet, but that's not the same thing as the patent. That is slightly messed up. I am going to say I never picked it up for some reason, and when I examined it, I was examining my memory of how it looked. All right, well, I guess that's an unsolved puzzle, but we know how to solve it, and we need to make the fireproof potion. The question is, can I just make it, or do I have to go through all the steps again? Phooey. Well, whatever. We'll just do it. It's always something, friends. Well, we need to close the input then. Does make work as a verb? Oh, it might make. Make fire potion? Let's see how nice the game is. Thank you, game. That was nice. It was very kind. Okay. When drunk, this cloudy liquid should enable your flesh to resist even the most intense heat, albeit only for a few moments. Do you know what? This is good. It was good for us to remember the shortcut for making the fire potion, which, by the way, if you weren't here in the previous episodes, the reason a ridiculous command like make fire potion worked was because, again, that is the... That is one of the main innovations of this game, in that we already did the step-by-step process of learning how to make a fire potion and going through the whole thing. Having done it once and having proved to the game or to our player character that we know how to do it, from now on we can just type make fire potion and the character will just do it. We don't have to go through the steps again. So here we are. So let's drink it and get that patent, and then go back to plan A off of plan A prime. Gulp. Yeah, we've already done this. I'll reread it anyway because it's fun. You swallow the cloudy potion. The liquid leaves your mouth feeling slightly numb. Within moments, you feel a prickle on your skin. Your hands go cold and stiff like a long walk on a chilly autumn day. Ta-da! Now we have the patent. Okay. With that done, go back to the optics lab. Go back to the annex. This time I definitely have the patent, right? Here it is. It is now on the shelf. Grr, we're doing this. Now I need to bring the recipe back. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Breath holding. That's what we wanted, right? Right. Okay, where were we? We have it on the shelf. We have the aroma. Place a measure of saline into the bound. You locate a beaker in the clutter, pour a measure of saline into it, and place it within the tabletop bound. Your fingers are tingling. That is just warning us that the fire potion is wearing off, which we do not care about. That is fine. Begin with the simple sealing, followed by the anodyne evocation. Check and check. Invoke simple sealing. Or, as I like to say, invoke the simple sea lion. No, come on. You take a breath, trace the bound in your mind, and intone the simple sealing word. The arc begins to glow golden around the beaker of saline. Your fingers are no longer tingling. The potion must have worn off. Yeah, whatever. And now we want to invoke anodyne evocation. Invoke evocation. Or the come on, man. You begin the anodyne evocation. The rhythm beats in your chest and blood. Slowly, the liquid in the beaker begins to effervesce. Oh, I didn't do a pre-flight check. Do we still have this other stuff? Good lord. You put the splinter of elemental wood on the porcelain paten. Burn it. You lack any handy... But I had the torch lighter, isn't that... Oh, no! What happened? Is it because I took a swim with the lighter and it broke? Is that what happened? Did that really just happen? No, it didn't just happen. It happened like an hour ago. Okay, sure. Clang. Oh, man. What? That, all right. I'm going to assert that we broke the lighter by doing the thing, and we should have not done the thing. So I'm just going to restart and try this again, and we'll be back in a minute. We'll be back in a minute. Everything is fine. How are you? Excuse me, not meant reset, not restart. Okay, let's get all the things we need. Get the seaweed. Can we say get seaweed right off the bat? Is that... No, we need to go to seaweed. And since we're starting from a fresh loop, the game is describing all the things we need to do in order to get to the seaweed, and I'm not going to read them this time. Sorry. Go to paten. Okay. It's making us... Fine, we'll just... You know what? I'll take the extra step. Fine. I don't know why we can't just snag it, but whatever. Yoink. Go to elemental wood. Actually, I want the lighter, don't I? Okay. It's not broken. Let's not break it. I hope it wasn't 2 uses only, and I haven't just wasted it. We need the wood. Which do you mean? That's a very good question. Excuse me. Interesting thing about the game is that if we're racing around at top speed, that only counts as a single turn, and apparently the lifetime of the fire potion is tied to turns and not in-game time passing. It's fine. Okay, again, let's do our pre-flight list for this breath-holding potion. So, auxiliary environment, aroma, check. Paten, check. Saline, no. Check. Simple sealing, got it. Evocation, got it. Wood, got it. Lighter, got it. Hey, you can call it kelp. That's nice. Running through this again. You don't actually have to type simping sealing. You can just say simple. If you say invoke simping, that is a different game entirely, and we're not doing that. Anodyne. Anodyne. Also a different game. Very different from this one. So far, so good. I cannot believe we got up to the final step last time and my lighter was busted because we went for a swim. I'm guessing it's because we went for a swim. All right, moment of truth. You hold the torch lighter to the splinter of elemental wood. The elemental wood catches quickly and burns with a yellow flame. Conclude with an elementary binding. I forgot to check if we have that. Ugh. Is that the thing we just learned in the Scaife? That's exciting. Maybe it is. You intone the elementary word of binding. The liquid in the beaker roils, bubbles dramatically, and goes abruptly still. The splinter of wood, equally abruptly, is extinguished. The bound emits a bright pulse of light and vanishes. The bound fades. You lift the beaker and gently decant the clear potion into a fresh bottle. You set aside the empty beaker. So in our inventory, we now have a potion of breath holding, which we can now brew with a single command whenever we want for the rest of the game. And that is delightful. Cool. Well, I know 2 different places, at least, where we can use this. While we're at it, since we're going to the part of the ship that is both submerged and also on fire, let's, can we say brew instead of make? I want to see if we can do that. Haha, it works. Yeah. Got that going on, too. Because I like reading about things being on fire, no, I don't want to walk into the fire because probably all of our inventory will explode if we do that. All right. You know what? Let's go to the paper garden first because it's the first thing that we saw. We're going to drop our stuff so that they don't get broken this time. I don't think we need... It's funny how few things we have now. If you're just playing on the autoplay, you don't end up hoovering up every single object in the game. We do need the breath holding. All right. We're doing this. It's time for hijinks. Time for some hijinks. You swallow the clear potion. The liquid burns icily down your throat and then settles as a cold heaviness in your lungs. Is breathe a verb? Oh. I guess it's the same as smell. Usually that's interesting. Usually the garden has the scent of living plants and a distinct breeze, but now that you pay attention, the atmosphere is quite dead now. The air is overlaid with a strong aroma of kelp. Well, we're not here to smell the flowers, paper or otherwise. All right, darker hole, I'm on to you. You haul yourself further downwards into the channel. This is the thing we could not do. This is the first thing we have done all session so far that has resembled solving a puzzle. Go us. Bottom of shaft. You are at the bottom of a narrow vertical submerged shaft. Little light reaches you, and the water is icy cold. At the very bottom of the shaft is a mud-covered slab. Its surface is irregular, but the mud is too thick to make out what's carved there. Gimme, gimme, gimme. The slab is too large to carry, certainly while swimming. What? Oh no, we came all this way just for an irregular, thick mudded slab. Can we clean off the mud somehow with a mud cleaning? Maybe we need to do that. The mud on the slab is dimpled irregularly. You cannot tell what's beneath, however. You brush at the mud, trying not to stir it up into the water around you. Letters come into view, neat enough to read even in this murky light. Excuse me. as I bump my microphone in excitement. Could it be that doing something with our bare hands actually worked in this game for once? A word is, apparently yes is the answer. A word is carved onto this slab. You have never seen it, but you have an unspoken sense. It is a word of emulgence, a word of blending, like the blending of earth and water into mud. You memorize the word of emulgence. So that's cool. I am getting the impression that the slab is not out of place. It is meant to be here. It is meant to be here and to be muddy for eternity at the bottom of a symbolic garden, just being, wearing the principle of muddiness. And now we know the word for it. So good. Yeah, and we don't need to get the slab. We just leave the slab where it is. The slab has taught us everything it can. We can leave. Goodbye, slab. I'll always remember our time together. Okay, splash, drip, drip, drip. We're in the paper garden, and I haven't read any messages. It said we're running out of breath. So let's leave all our stuff here and book it to the other wet thing. Brass cube. No one cares about you anymore. Yeah, let's go down here. We've already got the blah. Oops, other direction. Hooray! A new thing. If you weren't following, I didn't exactly say what I was doing. What I did was I just ran into the flooded hatchway in the Escape Arcade. And the last time we tried this, the game was like, oh no, you're running out of air. But apparently still well within the, under the influence, if you will, of the breath-holding potion. I'm able to, that we brewed to do the paper garden pool, I'm able to walk around freely under here. So, you kick downwards and pull yourself along the crawlway. The passage is cramped and claustrophobic, and even with the potion, your chest feels tight. Thank you for acknowledging the potion. But soon you see light ahead, and an open hatch becomes visible above you. Oh, this is the very thing I thought would happen. Observatory crawl space flooded. You are floating in the submerged crawlway, which runs back to the north. Another collapse blocks further passage to the south. A hatchway above gives access to the open air. This is sufficient because this is going to take us to the heretofore blocked observatory. Hooray, lots of text. You pull yourself out of the water. You have found your way into the observatory, the retort's guiding eye. The dome overhead is set with windows, and each window shows a different sky and a different array of stars. Badass. One level above you, an ironwork bridge crosses the dome north to south. A ladder descends at either end, but only one of the two is lowered. And that one is obstructed by a fracture that cuts off the north side of the dome. I'm tracking this with the map as I'm reading. The south side ladder is folded up under the bridge. Its counterweight hangs near the floor. Okay, this is going to take a while to figure out. Might need to draw a picture there. The door to the east is closed. Open alcoves to the north and south house additional equipment. But again, the north side is fracture blocked. You also see the flooded crawlway hatch at your feet. In the center of the chamber, beneath the bridge, stands the Compass Pedestal with its capsule of elemental water. All right, so we have elemental wood. We know how to create elemental fire, but we are missing ingredients, and now we have found some elemental water just hanging out. Swabbies aren't allowed in here. You must be getting sneaky, kid. The heavy sensation in your lungs begins to fade. Not a moment too soon. I wonder if we can just Dark Souls us up a shortcut to the paper garden from here. Yes, first unlocking and opening the painted door from this side. We did Dark Souls us up a shortcut. So now we can walk back and forth, tra-la, between the paper garden and the observatory. Take that. So many things to look at. I like starting from the top. Check out those windows. The dome windows show, to be honest, you've never understood the theory. Each one is a world where the retort has ever been, or each one is the heart of some constellation, or each one shows an aspect of the retort's relationship with the cosmos, or something. And if the windows are all different, the retort must still be rigged for the march? But the portico seems grounded in a Hadean land. Well, you knew something was wrong. They are beautiful, though. You see skies that vary from velvet black to jewel-bright arrays of stars. The heavy sensation in your lungs is dissipating. Yes, no more water breathing for us. Can we just get some details here? No, it's just a synonym. More clues about the nature of the craft we're on. That is that the player character just knows, but the we don't necessarily. Is what does a rigged for the march mean? And I mean, just from context, that sounds like, is ship shape seaworthy, if you will. The line about the portico being on a Hadean land means, well, if you look out the front door, it looks like you've landed, for lack of a better word, on a particular world. But the observatory looks like you're in flight, I guess. So two things are happening at once, I take it. Yeah, something's amiss here. Yeah, someone's due a paddling, as Bill says in the chat. Okay, so that's the windows. Let's take another look here. One level above you, ironwork bridge crosses the dome, north to south. A ladder descends at either end, but only one of the two is lowered. And that one, the one that is lowered, that we could climb up, we cannot get to because of a fracture. Neener. The south side ladder is folded up under the bridge. Its counterweight hangs near the floor. So if we can get that counterweight up, the ladder will go down. That's what we call a puzzle. Let's take a look at all this stuff, I guess. The bridge is the Aethery, one of the 4 dragon nests. You don't say. Normally, the captain would be standing up there, gazing. Oh, wait a minute. So does it mean bridge, like it's both a bridge and also it's the bridge? Is that going on? Okay, I'll accept it. Normally, the captain would be standing up there, gazing up at the heavens and steering the retort on its way. But now the bridge seems abandoned. The bridge runs from one side of the dome to the other, about 10 feet above the floor. Access is by 2 ladders. Unfortunately, one of them is blocked by a fracture. The other is folded up under the bridge. Its counterweight hangs down, as it should, but the mechanism seems to be jammed, because of course it is. The counterweight is a massive block of lead. It hangs from the bridge at the end of a steel cable. Oh, if we have... The cable descends from the bridge mechanism. It supports a massive lead counterweight, which hangs a few feet above the floor. Let's just futilely get a sense for this. It's not an action, I understand. I don't know. You manage to move the counterweight a few inches, but it swings back as soon as you stop leaning on it. Clearly, this is not something we can do with our bare hands. And I appreciate that the mud looked like another, oh no, we need to find the mud, clean mud off of slabs ritual. But it's like, no, just wipe it off with your hands, dumbass. This is not a case. We cannot... Yeah, the counterweight is too heavy to carry, even if it weren't fastened to a cable. I mean, we can just mess around with it a bit more. See if we get any clues out of this. No. That's fine. Clearly, if we have something that can mess with massive lead weights, we'll come back here. Some more interesting historical analysis from Doug in the chat, who says, it's called a bridge because on a steamer, it was a literal bridge between the paddle houses. So there. Perhaps that's what the dragons are. In fact, it's probably closer to the truth than we know right now. Let's continue to look at these things. The ladder is folded up under the bridge, a good 8 feet above you. You recall hearing in Marcher gossip that it's been jammed for weeks. It's a running joke that the single ladder on the north side has had to serve the entire bridge crew. But that option is closed to you now. Oh, man. So can we look at the mechanism? Nope. Ladder is folded up high out of reach. You jump up and down for a bit. Okay, well, I thought maybe there was something. Okay, so, cannot get to bridge because ladder is stuck. And the ladder everyone's been using in the meantime is behind a fracture. Bonk. Cannot go there. Take another look around. I feel like I have a pretty good idea what's going on there now, so that's good. The door to the east is opened. Check. Got that. Open alcoves to the north and south. House additional equipment. Again, flood across the hatch. Center of the chamber. Okay, so we do want to go south, but before then, in the center of the chamber, beneath the bridge, stands the Compass Pedestal with its capsule of elemental water. Well, let's look at all this goody. Good. The compass is a slender pedestal topped by a circular screen of white fused quartz. A capsule of elemental water is suspended above it. The capsule is supposed to focus the light of the stars onto the screen to indicate the retort's location. But the screen is blank. Screen is just a synonym. What about this capsule? Tell me more. It's a delicate capsule, no longer than your thumb, full of elementally pure water. Well, that's not going to stick around here, is it? You pull the elemental water away from the compass. It resists for a moment, then comes free. I mean, we didn't need to do that. We can, now that I don't know how go-to works in this game, we can just come back to it anytime. We're like, oh, we need some water, elemental water. But I like reminding myself I'm playing a text adventure game and literally take everything that's not bolted down. It gets one into the spirit of things. I want to try drinking the water, but I won't because I don't want to. Let us look at the southern alcove. This alcove houses the magnificent horological calculator, a complex machine whose controls include a armillary sphere, a dial, and a slot. There's a blank tin slip in the slot. 2 papers, a coarse sheet, and a delicate sheet have been discarded here. It's cool. We're gonna learn some stuff. I hate you. Okay. No, I don't hate you, game. It's fine. Get All will actually teach us everything, if I recall correctly. Yes, it will. Delicate sheet. The synthesis of sublime spirit, the 8th distilled essence of mineral oil. Place mineral oil and nickel into a retort. Thin pieces of nickel are best, as the surface area must be large. Invoke the sealing, followed by a word of intention to prevent the oil from igniting. Introduce elemental fire into the retort to begin the distillation. You may then easily extract the desired fractions. Noted, this is the first time I recall seeing elemental fire in a ritual recipe versus a desire to set something on fire. So that's 3 things in the game that we're going to drop fire onto once we have that. Man, once we find that Ka sealing word, stuff is going to burn. That's all I'm saying. Memorize instructions. Pick up the sheet just in case. Course sheet. The synthesis of verdigris, the lower oxide of orichalcum. This process is quite simple. Place the orichalcum and vinegar into a retort. Apply the hermetic sealing. Heat until the vinegar just begins to boil, and then invoke the phlogistical catalysis. Memorize the instructions, including the phlogistical catalysis. That was a freebie. That's nice. You also add the sheet to your bundle of paper. And the tin slip, which I guess is that a punched card? It's It's a small rectangular strip of tin. I don't remember the word for a blank coin. I toured the U.S. Mint a few years ago, and I learned the word for just a round disc of a coin's metal that hasn't been made into a coin yet. And that is the word to apply here. And I don't know what it is. So I'm not going to say it because I don't know what it is. Great. Anything else here? I was hoping one of those would tell us how to make a thing. So clearly, we need to, put a program into that? Oh, or we put the blank thing into the slot and the answer is stamped into it. Let's check these pieces out, actually, and get a better look. Examine sphere. The calculator contains 8... Oh, my God. 8... Excuse me. The calculator contains 8 nested brass spheres, supported in delicate armillary gears. The spheres, not the gears, are piecework, of course, so that you can see down to the center. Each is engraved with orbits, stars, nebulae, and the other landmarks of the heavens. By adjusting the calculator, you can match the spheres up to the observatory's environment, or at least a trained A3 pilot could. Each sphere is marked with a scale in Greek letters. From the outside in, the spheres are aligned at gamma, pi, sigma, tau, alpha, kappa, chi, theta. However, the patterns marked on the spheres don't seem to match the visible heavens at all. Okay, well, I wouldn't know how to do any of this. We need to find us some Greek. And can we just play with this? What's this dial? Let's mess around. Dial can be set to any of the 24 Greek letters. Let's do random things. Huh? Spheres look completely wrong. Are we meant to brute force this through every... No, I don't think we should do that. Also, that's really boring and nobody wants to see me do that. And I am not super... Let's just do this. Omega. The Omega configuration. Great. Awesome. What if we put the slip? Oh, an unstruck coin is a planchet or a blank. I'll go with planchet. That sounds good. I like that. Thanks, Bill. Well, blank is what it's called in the game, so let's do that. What if we put the blank in the slot? You can't look at things in the... Oh, wrong verb. Excuse me. Thanks for trying. You slide the blank tin slip back into the intake slot. Or was it in the intake slot when we got here? Hang on, let's go back. Did I just rip it out of there? Seems like the sort of thing I'd do. Oh, yeah, there was. Okay. Yeah, Doug notes that the first 3 letters of the spheres are GPS. That's pretty good. Sort of. All right. Oh, hang on. Getting a low battery message. That's embarrassing. Oh no. Reality. What I need to do, friends, is I need to... this may mess up the view of... we'll see what happens. The map might go wonky when I do this. Let's find out. Exciting. Yes, the map went slightly wonky. I'm gonna do... Let's do this. Let's do some live on the air reconfiguration, because I don't own a USB hub for this computer, and I needed to unplug my monitor to plug my power back in. Look at that. No harm, no foul. Of course, we can't see the bottom of it, but that's where we are right now. So we'll just go with this. Sorry, what were we doing? We were playing Hadean Lands by Andrew Plotkin and putting the blank in the slot, and I want to stamp that blank with a thing. darn it. What if we... I have to try. No, okay, fine. Sorry, everyone. Cool. Let's hide this so I can see the chat. Hide that. We're making this work, everybody. Oh, I shouldn't have hid that. No! That was horrible. Okay. Oh, no. Also horrible. Okay. I'm down to one display, and Hadean Lands is a game of many windows. So I was trying to hide things, and it turns out if you hide windows, they're hidden, and then you can't stream them anymore. Fine. What if I kind of... Isn't this fun? It's fun. The spheres are wrong, everybody. They're wrong, and... I don't think that brute forcing through all the letters is going to get us anywhere. Because we don't know what we're doing. Because, again, yeah, you've never used the calculator itself. That's aethery work. I think it's strongly implied that you don't know what you're doing. You need to find a hint. And just punching at buttons randomly. Will not help. Neat. Tiny slot. Oh, I don't remember this detail from earlier. A tin slip rests in the slot ready for engraving. Huh. Well, I want there to be like a engrave the slot button. But there's no like do the thing. I want to try one more just for the heck of it. Let's just go through all the letters I know about. No. Yeah. I'm obsessed, everybody. Oh my god! You turn the dial and the 8th sphere resolved to gamma. I guess it was all about brute forcing, everyone. Hooray! The escapement words. The blank tin slip is drawn into the calculator. After a brief cantata of rattles and clunking noises, the slip is ejected back into your hands, now imprinted with complex symbols. It is now an ephemeris billet, summarizing the heavenly coordinates you have set up. Okay, I'll take it. The strip of tin is now an ephemeris billet. It has been engraved with rows of minute symbols indicating a particular confluence of the heavens from a particular vantage point in the universe. Yes, so that slot was output. I can't jam this in. Huh. Well, what if we look at the... From the outside in, the spheres are aligned at... Okay, so those are my last inputs. Huh. Okay, I think I know what happened. I just turned the dial around like a crazy person until I did it 8 times. Yeah, that's what happened. I did it 8 times. That's how I solved this puzzle, everybody. I just hit the thing 8 times until it gave up and said, here you go, genius. Yeah, here's 8 Greek letters. You did it. You did it. You just spelled TGO. Yeah, you didn't spell anything. You spelled garbage. Okay, so I have completely spoiled this billet. It will now fling us into a black hole or something. My cat is here to say hello. And we'll need to reset in order to once we know what use it is. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, now we know how that machine works, at least. Quote, works, unquote. And once we have... if we ever come across a set of 8 Greek letters, we know what to do. I don't know what to do with the slip after that. Okay, we have thoroughly explored everything we can do here. No, do not press my power button, Macy. Excuse me. Macy knows that she's reminding me that we should wrap in about 5 to 10 minutes. That is her job. And she does that by walking on my computer's power button. Door to the east. What else can we do here? We haven't done anything with the compass except steal the water. Interesting. I'm going to eject this cat. I will be right back. I have returned. You will be pleased to know Macy flashed me with the look of extreme hatred. Only available to members of her species. So, yeah, we'll settle that later tonight. We need to wrap up this session, so let's see what else we can do tonight. We did get to the observatory. We did mess around with a horological calculator, which is pretty great, and I have no idea why we want to do this. Oh, we were going to play with fire. Let's do that before we're done. Okay, going back to the map of the Marcher. We need to go, let's see, to the east, to the south. Everything is on fire. Well, oh, I left the thing back at the thing. Excuse me. Get the fire potion. Yes, let's take both the potion of fire resistance and also the torchlighter in case we need to make more things on fire. Because you never know. That would be the sort of irony that I would not put past the author of this game. Okay. The flames. Fierce heat drives you back. Well, what if I told you that I had a fire potion? I don't want to... Come on. Potion. Don't want to drink the inferno. All right, we're doing it. We're walking in. Foosh, it worked. You step into the flames, which feel like a warm breeze on your skin. Your Marcher uniform, woven with alchemical virtues to resist this sort of mistreatment, only scorches slightly. Unfortunately, your possessions do not fare so well. In the heat, the torchlighter shatters. Well, so much for that theory. The capsule... Oops, sorry. We didn't need that. The capsule of elemental water explodes, and the bundle of paper burns up. This game is just a comedy of of just destroying all your notes again and again. Burning Hall East. You are standing in an inferno, genius. That is, you are at the east end of the hall, which is on fire. Even though you can barely feel the heat, the fire is hard to ignore. To the east is an Obsidian Door, a dark rectangle amid the fire's glare. You know this door leads to the high wing and the chancel, but it is closed and locked. You see a single sheet of paper lying in a niche where the fire is not so intense. Even so, the paper is singed and smoking. Let's get it before it burns. Pretty great. Oh boy. Riesenzweig's inscription to mimic the aura of another. Aha. That is good because I think we can use that for the security lock in the basement. This is Riesenzweig's translation of a Chinese poem attributed to Yang Wan Li. The effect is similar to Olke's inscription. Do you like my accent? I do. Construct a meditative environment based on the Book of Changes. One should use the central ritual bound of the house, as the symbolism of this tradition always places the 5 elements in perfect balance. That's fascinating. This is the first time I can recall telling you to use a particular ritual bound as opposed to just any of them lying around anywhere on the ship. Place beads of iron and jade within the bound and speak a simple sealing. Place a burning wood on the Gestalt shelf. Invoke the name of the tortoise. The tortoise's name is Jerry. Jerry Tortoise. No, no. Discharge elemental air upon the bound. Poof. Close with the chi binding. You memorize the instructions, including the chi binding. You also pick up the sheet, but it crumbles to ash in your hands. Fortunately, your memory is good. Yeah, I noticed. That is, well, let's finish checking out this room and what else we can do here. I like how in the map view, the star is just in the middle of, involved in flames. We don't care. Burning hair, we don't care. And let's call it a night after we clean up this room. So, what do we got? We got that obsidian rectangle. We're here with a monolith. Everyone wants me to drink lighter fluid and the inferno. None of that is happening. Also, the thing exploded. I can't. There's no lighter fluid to drink. I'm sorry. Yeah, obsidian. The door to the east is in obsidian slab, polished and obdurate. The heat hasn't even touched it. You know that the chancel lies that way, but you've never been permitted inside. The obsidian door is firmly shut. The flames oh dear. What happens if we just stand here? Can you die in this game? I guess we could find out. Terrible. I do not want to burn to death at the end of a session. That's just, no, we don't need that right now. Here's the thing. The obsidian door is firmly shut. Can we open it? I mean, just because it's closed. I'm looking at the map and I'm seeing that, I just want to do one more thing here. Oh, the scale is all wrong. Everything is wrong. Never mind. Well, looking at this view, we appear to be, yeah, that makes sense. We are in a floor that is above, for some value of the word above, the barracy and the underground cavern and everything. So, that is crossing under us. So the fact that there is a north-south passageway on the map, that is not near us in any actual way. It's just how the map is. Well, let's try to open the door. What direction? East. You tug on the obsidian handle, but the door is locked. That goes to the end. I see. So according to the map, if and when we open this door, that'll lead us into the chancel, which is behind that screen, which is in the nave. And, okay. Just to be stupid. Oh, because I dropped it. It wasn't going to work anyway. Our ability didn't burst into flame. Okay, well, no, I don't want to mess with that. All right, that's good. We made progress. We danced into the fire. Sorry. The magician longs to see fire walk with me, and we did stuff. We found an observatory. We did fire and water rituals. We figured out how to steer the ship. No, we figured out where the ship is steered. We have no idea how to steer the ship. Are you kidding me? We mostly just did a lot of thorough exploration tonight. And we have a lot of leads on things to do next. But for the most part, that's all we have. So when we do this again, which I plan to do in a week, 6 p.m. Sunday on January 9th, we'll see if we can unlock some more of these doors. So until then, thank you so much for joining me. And yeah, stay safe out there and keep watching the skies. Sure, why not? Bye.